Francisco Chronicle. Steph, if you had a chance over the last 36 hours to reflect on Game 7's impact on this team's legacy, win or lose?
No, it's all about winning the game. I mean, we'll worry about what either result means afterwards. We're going
in terms of magnitude and how you're preparing yourself for such a big game.
Same kind of preparation, understanding that we need our best basketball for 48 minutes to end this season, and hopefully with a W. I don't feel any extra pressure, which is good. I just understand and want to enjoy the moment, because growing up as a basketball fan, you kind of put yourself in so many Game 7s to win the finals kind of situations and playing with your friends and stuff, and this is my first crack at it, so excited about it. I understand we've had 2 subpar games and we need to make a couple adjustments, but we are capable of doing that, and a resilient basketball team that is ready for this opportunity, and that's what I'm confident in.
Emilio?
Oh, yes, Steph. Right here, Emilio Perez, Tab Deportes. This has been a pretty tough series in terms of pressure, criticism, and all the things that you have to handle on and off the court. With Father's Day being on Sunday in the same day as Game 7, I just want to know how big has been the figure of your father, Dale, in terms of helping you manage all this stuff?
He's been huge. Just knowing he never went through the finals experience before, so he doesn't understand. Didn't experience the. I had to stop myself. Yeah, didn't experience the kind of emotions that go into this and kind of the spotlight or whatnot. But having played 16 years in the league and knowing, had teammates that have done it before, and just knowing the ins and outs of the game, that kind of wisdom is invaluable for sure. But I want to make him proud. I want to go out and know that when he's watching, he's kind of rooting me on and proud of what I'm doing. So that is a huge driving force for me. And then obviously, if I need to bounce stuff off of him about things on or off the court, I can.
Is there any specific advice that he has given to you to try to control yourself and maintain your focus in this kind of showcase that's going to be Game 7?
No, just what he has said and what he would say was just be yourself, and you can be fine with that. There's a reason that we're here. There's a reason you're in the situation. Don't need to change. Don't need to do anything special. Just be yourself, but play hard, and you know, just have the right intentions about what you're doing on the floor. Usually things work out.
Carl, next over.
Steph, with the way you guys run your defensive switches, it seems like in the last couple of games anyway, you're getting put in some rather awkward situations where you're having to guard LeBron or Tristan Thompson. I mean, and actually it looks like they're doing the same thing with Kyrie. I mean, are you having to work extra hard on defense because of the switching, and how do you compensate in this final game?
The only thing is just got to stay out of foul trouble. That's the only thing I need to worry about. The kind of schemes they're doing to put me in screen and rolls or to try to isolate me against bigger guys hasn't really hurt us that bad, except if I get into foul trouble. I mean, we looked at the numbers and stuff, and I mean, my one-on-one defense, I think I can hold my own in those situations, especially if it's ISO situation and clock's running down or whatnot. Comfortable in that position, and as long as I'm on the floor, I think we'll be all right.
So I would assume that, with that being said, you will maintain your same style of defense and maybe not, like stay at home on one guy.
No, I have to lend support. If I'm guarding the guy setting the screen, we have certain principles of how I'm supposed to guard that. If it requires a switch, then we do it. That's kind of my game plan, and just not foul.
Lowell Cone, Santa Rosa Press Democrat. Stephen, After Game 6, Clay said if you don't win the championship, the season will be a failure. Do you agree with that sentiment?
Yeah, pretty much, because I mean that was our goal from the beginning. We're here on Game 7 with a chance to do it. We've had 2 chances already and haven't gotten it done. 48 minutes to do it. So if we come up short, we'll all be very, very, very disappointed. No 2 ways around that.
Thank you.
Michael in the back.
Steph, Michael Grange from Toronto. First chance to hear from you since Game 6 and a lot of the kind of drama that swirled around with Aisha's tweets, et cetera. How have you kind of managed that the last 36 hours and just focused on the job at hand? And for those of us not in that kind of spotlight, what do you do?
There's nothing really that's going to distract me from what's happening on the court. Yeah, I get asked about it, and what's between me and Aisha, the conversations about what happened, that's going to be handled. But other than that, that doesn't take any spotlight off of what my job is on the floor and what these next 48 minutes are going to be like in Game 7. So that's kind of all I'm worried about. I might have to cut the Wi-Fi off at my house, though.
Jermaine?
Has it been, I mean, we talked earlier in the series about the spotlight and the scrutiny and all that. Do you kind of just shake your head at the kind of levels it gets to sometimes?
Yes, but I guess because the stuff that I hear is probably 10 times worse than the stuff that I don't hear. So, I mean, you got to love that scrutiny, whether it's scrutiny and the praise, positive or negative, because of the stage that we're on. If we're in the finals every year and playing for a championship and that's what you have to deal with, I'm cool with it.
Jermaine?
Jermaine Franklin with TSN. Steph, I guess related to the last question, perhaps one of the lasting images of this finals may be the way you exited Game 6. How do you drop that and concentrate, remain composed for Game 7?
I was going to the bench either way, so I might as well have kept walking to the locker room. That's kind of how I view it in a funny way, but the way that we move on is win Game 7 and have a lot more fun post-game. That's really the best way to bounce back from an emotional loss.
Tim on the aisle over here.
Tim Calgary, Mercury News. Steph, you've always resisted the idea that you just have to take over, you have to win a game by yourself. In a Game 7, obviously all the spotlight on this team, on you. Do you have to be great in this game? Do you personally have to be great?
Yeah. I need to play my best game of the year, if not my career, because of what the stakes are. So that doesn't mean score 50 points, though. That means control the tempo of the game. When I need to be aggressive, well, I need to be aggressive, but when I need to push the envelope, do it, but do it under control, do it within the schemes that we're used to as a team. Focus on details on both ends of the floor. All those things go into having a great game, and I need to do that.
What are your teammates telling you? I mean, anything specific about the way they want you to approach this game?
Basically 100 different ways of saying what I just said. So everybody's kind of encouraging each other, understanding the opportunity that we have in front of us. And the plane ride back yesterday was fun because we were very, very kind of light, and the attitude was real positive. So I like where we're at mentally.